Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and today we are playing with a bunch of Midas Cosmetics products, talking about the fact that they closed and what other companies do I think are going to close or file for bankruptcy in the near future. There have been a few recently, so if you're curious about Midas Cosmetics, seeing any of their products, you are curious to hear what businesses I think are gonna go under, or you just wanna hang out, keep on watching. Before we get too far into the video, don't forget to click that subscribe button. I upload 2 times a week. Totally free to subscribe. If you're already subscribed, click the like button, click the notification bell. Don't miss out, guys, because I am going to be including some Midas Cosmetics goodies in my next giveaway. I've got some lip glosses, some glitter. You're not going to miss that out, especially since some of the stuff you can't get anymore on their site as they're closing. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that. All right, let's get into the video and my thoughts about Midas Cosmetics and these brands that I'm not so sure about. All right, so why are we talking about this today, guys? Well, Midas Cosmetics is closing its doors, unfortunately, and if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I've lately been trying to use stuff in my collection instead of buy new, and when I saw they were closing, I thought, oh my gosh, they're closing and I have stuff that I bought from them that I haven't even used yet. So I thought this would be a good chance for me to try out the items, talk about Midas Cosmetics, and if you like some of these products, the website is still up. They're not out of inventory. Everything's on sale. So if you see something you like, now's your chance to get it because the business is closing. So as we start talking about this, I'm going in with the Dawn face palette from Midas Cosmetics, obviously. And this was a collab they did with Neonmua. This is a face palette. It's got bronzer, kind of more of a contour, blush, and highlighter. So I'm using this completely for the face, and I'm also using their brush set. Now, their brush set, guys, I love so much that I actually bought a second set and gifted it to my mom for Christmas because that's how good I really thought these were. I'll link in the cards the other videos I've done about Midas Cosmetics. Some of these brushes I got in a Valentine's Day mystery box. I think that was just last year that they did that, and I liked them so much that I went back for the rest of them. So looks like this contour is a little bit more cooler toned and the bronzer is a little more warmer toned. So I'm gonna do the contour everywhere and the bronzer just on my cheeks. Ooh, yeah, that bronzer is pigmented and it is warming up for sure. A little bit goes a long way. Now, what I loved about this collab is that they were face palettes and they came in many dates. Like this one's Dawn, but they have dusk and different things for different skin tones. I know when I checked, the Dawn one was still in stock. So again, you'll just have to check to see what's in stock and what's left. Once it's gone, it's gone. Unfortunately, like I said, the brand is going out of business. So Midas Cosmetics, I think it was last year, like during the pandemic, they posted that like things were hard on them. I think things were hard on a lot of people during the pandemic as far as businesses are concerned, right? A lot of them didn't survive, didn't make it, and the pandemic was hard on Midas. So they put basically, I think they called it a Kickstarter, but it was kind of like a GoFundMe type thing where they were trying to raise money to save the business is what it sounded like. And for a while, I thought it worked. It sounded like, yes, we're gonna stay open, awesome. And that was great. But then, I don't know how long it's been now, a few weeks ago, the owner announced like, nope, sorry, we have decided to close. I actually didn't even hear it or see it on Midas's page. I saw it on, I believe it was Angelica Nickvis, Angie's channel. She was talking about BH Cosmetics filing for bankruptcy and like mentioned Midas closing, and I was like, hold the phone, wait a minute, what? They're closing? Because I love the brand, and I was like, I haven't heard anything about this. So I went on socials, and sure enough, there was a post saying they were closing. So it got me thinking, because I know I've seen people posting about all these brands that are closing, about why and going forward. And Angelica's video is really great for this. I will actually link hers below as well for you guys. But I think there are other factors sometimes for brands other than just like the pandemic happening and hurting them financially, and maybe that was the case for Midas. I don't know, you know, they didn't state specifically all the financial reasons and everything, but like Coastal Scents closed, which I had never even heard of till it closed, but I know a lot of people made videos about that. BH filed for bankruptcy, which they're gonna keep going, but they're, you know, filing for bankruptcy. Of course, Becca Cosmetics closed. So it's like, wow, obviously for whatever reason, brands are being super affected by this. And I don't know, it just got me started thinking. I don't know if you guys have thought about it, about like, you know, where are you spending your money and supporting brands that you really want to stay open? Because for me, I hate to see an indie brand specifically go out of business. Like, I'm not gonna lie, for me, like Becca, I own one thing from Becca, and it's because I bought it from TJ Maxx, and I literally bought it because the brand was going out of business. Like, I didn't give them the time of day when they were a business. I don't know about you guys, but Midas, like, I've placed many orders. You'll see all the stuff that I have that I'm using from them in this video today. Oh, this face palette is exquisite. You should get it. So I don't really buy a lot from, you know, the Tartes and the Too Faced companies, like the big conglomerates. I really love indie brands. So I was sad to see that they were going under, and I don't think they did anything like BH did to contribute, other than, you know, like I said, the pandemic. Angie's video, she talked about like BH tried to collab with like these big celebrity names, and they kind of sunk a lot of money into that as like a Hail Mary, and it just did not work for them. And then they had to file bankruptcy because they didn't see the return they were hoping on that. So, you know, obviously Midas did collabs, like this palette that I'm using today, the Perception palette. That one is a collab with the Basic B, and the face palette's a collab. But those were collabs with people known for makeup, like celebrities. I don't know, like obviously I follow celebrities, but I'm not gonna go buy a makeup item that a celebrity that isn't known for makeup collabed with, if that makes sense. Like, I am much more likely to buy something if it's a collab with, you know, Raw Beauty Christie or Annette, or like people that I know for their makeup, than if it was like Britney Spears, for example, or someone like that. So I feel like that's why it didn't work out for them. And so I started thinking like, okay, this is obviously not a one-off thing if multiple brands now are closing, and like, who's next? You know what I mean? Who's next? So I thought I would share with you guys kind of the brands that I see as, I don't know, kind of falling off, which again, I could be totally wrong because I didn't see Midas as falling off, and I feel like it's totally for different reasons that they're closing. But there are other brands that I'm kind of like, I could see them kind of filing for bankruptcy, or, you know, having a moment too, because I just feel like they're so tired. So tired as brands. And I would love to hear it in the comments down below as well, what brands you think you could see closing, you could see them being done. Like I said, Midas was not one that I would have foreseen because I love their products so much. I knew they were struggling, but I didn't know it was like, hey, no, if this doesn't work, we're done, we're closed. So the first brand that I really, really could see this happening to is MAC Cosmetics. I don't really own a lot from MAC. I think I own one lipstick, again, that I got from TJ Maxx, and that's it. And I know they used to be really big and all, but they're not exciting to me, and I think they're not exciting to a lot of people. And I get there are some people that just want the same neutral brown palette over and over and over again, but the reason I specifically call out MAC is because I agree with Angie and this whole, like, you can tell when a brand is trying to do a big cash grab or a big huzzah by pulling in a big name and trying to get that to get them revenue, because their makeup and products as a standalone is not cutting it for them. So much like BH Cosmetics did a collab with Iggy Azalea, I think it was Iggy, in order to, you know, try to be like, hey, it's a big name, bring in revenue. MAC is doing a big collab, I've seen commercials everywhere, with Cher. So I don't know how that's gonna go for them, but it makes me think like they are doing the same thing BH did and kind of like trying to pull a Hail Mary to try to get some funds in, because they, I feel like, are going downhill. But I think the same thing will happen with MAC, as happened with BH Cosmetics. Obviously, Cher's very popular. Cher's amazing. She's Cher. But there are, I would think, lots of people that enjoy listening to Cher that don't wear makeup or have anything to do with makeup per se. Yes, she does her makeup or has her makeup done when she's performing, but I think everybody does at this point when they're on stage. So I'd be curious to see. Obviously, they think that that's going to get them a big return, and I think Saweetie was the other one that they were collabing with, versus if you pick someone smaller who isn't, you know, globally renowned, but their specific niche is makeup. Like I said, if Amy Loves was doing a collab, if Teresa's Dead was doing a collab, you know, people in the makeup community that a lot of us that watch beauty content on a regular basis know, I would think that would be a much higher return because that is what they are known for. That is what people are looking for on their channel. But obviously MAC thinks and BH thought otherwise. Now I would think that, I think Midas probably did get a pretty good return and like do well with their collabs. So like I said, the topic of other brands closing is a little bit different of a situation than Midas Cosmetics because they are an indie brand, and these other brands that I'm talking about that I think could file for bankrupt or close are bigger, like, chain's not the right thing to use, like mainstream maybe is the word I'm looking for, companies. So I know that they're not comparable per se. But MAC really came to mind when Angie mentioned that in her video about BH. By the way, guys, I know this Perception palette, I already looked on Midas, it is sold out, so I'm sorry about that. But they do have other eyeshadow palettes that are still available, and their formula is wonderful. I ended up getting this one last year because of the duochromes that are in it, and I used some of them today. There's like a blue to a green, and then there's like a pink to, I don't know, orange, yellowish shift. These two, Quantum and Psyche. I originally wasn't going to get this because it has a lot of brights, but I think I'll play with those more in summer. The other brand I see doing a similar thing, kind of similar, a little bit different, is Urban Decay, right? So they've had collabs with like Prince, although he's not living. Same thing, they're going for a big name musician in order to, you know, grab some money, which granted, I'm sure that Prince thing sold really well, but I don't know, would it sell better if it was an influencer? You know, I've seen Manny MUA before say like, hey, dear brand, here's the thing I think you could do to make your brand better. Talk to us influencers, let us consult for you. I feel like that would be very smart of some of these brands to bring some of these people in that are specializing in makeup consumerism to help them out. Because Urban Decay is all over the place, you guys. I mean, this Wild Greens palette they just put out, it's not a naked palette, but it's like, I don't know, like they have their naked palettes, they have this Wild Greens that's like a random thing left field. They need to do things like the Stone Vibes palette, which is like, again, just random things that don't, like, what is the brand, you know? Like, you can't pinpoint like a vibe because it's all over the place. But then they do things like the Prince collab. And another one I felt like lately they tried to like cash grab on and capitalize on was Pop Culture, the Eternals palette. Which honestly, I feel like all of that stuff, and it did happen with Eternals and Prince, it ends up in the sale category anyway. Like you can get it half off. So it's not like they're selling out of those collections by any means. Now obviously they could be ordering like thousands, tens of thousands more units than some of these smaller indie brands. But a lot of the small indie brands are where it's at, to me personally right now, and they get their return back for the most part, I feel like. The other brands that I could see falling off, closing, going out of business, or filing for bankruptcy, there's two of them, are HipDot and Morphe. So HipDot also, I feel like they don't do products, they're just HipDot products. Like, I feel like they only release collabs, at least from what I've seen, with random things like hot sauce palettes. Like, I will quote Teresa, who is this for? Who is this for? Teresa is dead and her Makeup New Bingos. I agree with her 100%. I don't know, are people buying those? Like, I could see them going out of business because it's just like collab after collab after collab because they have no original ideas of their own. And Morphe is the same thing, not with foods per se, but it's just collab after collab after collab. That's all they do. And same thing, I feel like they just have no original ideas. Obviously, they've done some shady stuff in the past too, and that could be contributing to it, but like, they just collab with influencers and that's all they do. That's like what their brand rides on. And maybe that's keeping them afloat because they are collabing with actual like beauty influencers and not celebs, but how long can you do that for before it's just not enough? I don't know. These glosses from Midas are great too. They're icing glosses. So good. I'm gonna finish up with one of these little stars from Crow's Nest. Midas has all these little glitters, and I usually don't get stuff like this, but I got a few in my Valentine's mystery box last year, and I used them because they were hearts in my look. And they're really nice, you guys. So I picked up some stars just because I thought they would be cute. I just used a little eyelash glue to put them on here. Just gonna put them at the end on each eye. Just like that. Can you see them? It's just like a cute little tiny star. Here, let me zoom in so you can see better. It's just like a tiny little star moment at the peak of the eye look. I think it looks really cute. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit different for my channel. I don't usually do kind of like commentary like this, so let me know if you like this kind of stuff in the comments down below, or let me know politely if you don't like it and I don't have to do things like this. But yeah, it just got me started about different brands. Hip Dot, Morphe, MAC, and Urban Decay. Yeah, that's my fortune telling skills. That's what I foresee happening next, if any companies. So once again, check out Midas Cosmetics. They're amazing. So sad to see that they're closing, but great products. Snag what you can while you can, and I hope to see you again on the next video. Bye.